So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different this morning than you're probably used to. I will be speaking and then I'll be playing songs throughout the message. Unitarian Universalists are uniquely suited to fill the role of peacemaker within our communities. Perhaps it is because we believe that salvation is in this lifetime that informs our sense of responsibility to do all that we can to make the world a better place. Or perhaps it is our understanding that what is done to one being is done to all in the interconnected web of life. However lofty and noble our explanation might be, I believe it boils down to something much simpler and can be traced back to the roots of our tradition. One of my favorite phrases that I once heard from a UU minister is, "I think, therefore I am UU." It's a little presumptuous, right? But it resonates for us. We gotta laugh, because indeed we come from a long line of thinkers. Many of us chose to be here precisely because we value the thinker's virtues of reason and freedom, equally, if not more than the degree to which we value faith and spirituality. Many of us gathered together because we love to explore and discuss the nature of life, to question norms, to use reason and intellect to pursue the many facets of what we might call the truth. Now, we may not always agree on this truth, oftentimes we don't, but thankfully and wonderfully, we are not asked to agree. We are simply asked to engage in a free and responsible search, using the fullest potential of the natural faculties that we were born with. For many of us engaged in this free and responsible search, issues of justice become ever present within our lives. Justice asks that we use our reason and intellect to discover the truth in an unbiased, if not methodical way. Because of this, justice becomes for many of us a way of life, whether it's within our own homes or out in the community where we engage in our social and political lives. We hope to align all things in a fair and just manner. If we take this desire for justice to the next level, peace is the natural next step. Many of us have heard the rallying cry, "No justice, no peace," N-O, no justice, no peace. Or recently I saw a bumper sticker that said, "No justice, no peace," K-N-O-W, no justice, no peace. And these slogans are very true. How can we possibly have peace when millions of people are living in poverty, many of whom are subservient to a culture that actually profits off of their suffering? We know that justice is a key component to achieving peace. And as UUs, we spend a lot of time engaging the rational, intellectual side of ourselves. We read, we think, we research political and environmental issues. After we feel sufficiently prepared, we put our knowledge and understanding about issues to work. We write letters, call our representatives, we organize and attend rallies. Many of us protest wars on the street corners of our communities. Oftentimes, the activities that we engage in come with tangible outcomes that might be measured. We want to see a certain number of endangered species saved, a government program put into action or inaction. But while we are putting into action the workings of our minds, how do we also put into action the teachings of our spirit? The less tangible, often misunderstood side of our tradition is our relationship to love and compassion. One of my favorite quotations, and actually a primary reason for why I ended up in seminary, is often said by Princeton University professor Cornel West. He says, Justice is what love looks like in public. I love it. Justice is what love looks like in public. In his discussion on the connection between love and justice, Dr. West goes on to say that liberal movements have been using the wrong ruler to measure achievements with. He says that relying on reason and freedom and intellect has led to the belief that we have achieved something only if we can quantify it. But these are statistics, he says, numbers that don't mean a thing if they're not backed by love. So how do we begin to bridge the gap between our heads and our hearts? How do we use reason and intellect to make the most compassionately informed decisions? And what can be our spiritual basis for doing the work of justice and peace in the world? I believe that Dr. West has it right. Love is where we begin. Love is what gives us the imagination, the strength, the courage, and the determination needed to work toward peace. It is truly what Lao Tzu meant when he wrote, "If there is to be peace in the world, there must first be peace in the heart." I believe our search then for peace begins within our own hearts and the ability to generate and feel love. It begins with the ability to be friendly with ourselves. We must be willing to let love soften us before we can soften toward others in the world. We have to be loving enough to learn to see who we truly are in this moment. And when we do that, I believe that all of the elements within our lives become aligned in a just manner. We begin to relax into our natural understanding of inherent goodness and that we are deserving of love and compassion and happiness just as we are right now. So the first song I'm going to do for you is a song that I actually wrote for myself at a time when I really needed to stop all that mental chatter in my head of, "You're never good enough. You didn't do that right. Who are you to do this? That person can do it so much better. Just let them do it." I think probably some of you can relate to that. I think most human beings can relate to that. So this is a song about being kind and compassionate to me, to ourselves first and foremost. Right here, right now, I'm exactly where I need to be right now. No fear, no judgment, no need to make problems in my head. She always talks in there, always on a rant, telling me to be a better person. Why did you say that? Why did you do that? Do you know the damage you've done to me? Right here, right now, I'm exactly who I need to be right now. No need to find excuses, no need to hide my head in the sand. 'Cause when I'm on a roll, I can be the best. I can shine brighter than the brightest star. Then I find myself flying up above all my heroes and my friends. need to be right now. I'm exactly where I need to be right now. Thich Nhat Hanh says that the best thing that we can do with our time is to practice the art of fully loving ourselves. It is the single best thing that we can do for our relationships. He says that if you have a difficult relationship and you want to make peace with the other person, you have to go home to yourself. You have to go home to your own garden and cultivate the flowers of peace and compassion. And only after that is done can you return to your relationship and be peaceful and compassionate. How do we take the love and peace we are cultivating within ourselves and apply it to those around us? It can oftentimes be very difficult for us to understand how and why people behave the way that they do. We as humans tend to interpret the world in a way that makes us feel comfortable, safe, especially during shaky times. So sticking with our group or culture feels very good. It feels safe and secure. We divide the world up into groups. Who makes us feel secure and safe versus those who seem different and whose very existence seems to threaten our way of being in the world. Blaming becomes a way to feel secure and provides an answer to why things have gone so wrong. Our challenge then is to see others as they are and not as we project or assume them to be. There can be a time and place for expressing anger and discontent. What I'm suggesting is not that we bottle up our true feelings or sugarcoat what is happening in the world. Making the effort to truly see someone as they are does not mean we never respond or react to what they have done. But we can do this in a way that allows people to be people. We can hold people accountable without crucifying them. A minister that I work with frequently has said that love allows us to forgive, and forgiveness is simply taking your hands off of another person's neck. Metaphorically speaking. In beloved community, we are called to witness to one another's process of becoming more fully human. And surely we are bound to make mistakes in this process. It will be messy. We exist only in the context of our relationships and can never be separate from one another, even those who have wronged or hurt us. We each exist as one strand in the interconnected web. Forgiveness is an act of love when it is neither passive nor vicious in its claims. It is honest and forthright, seeking to understand the truth with clarity and a genuine desire to learn and grow. We must also have the courage to speak the truth as we know and see it, without the desire to see someone else falter or be made wrong, but in order that the world community might learn and grow and be made into a more peaceful place. So this next song I want to do for you is a song that I wrote when the Iraq War started, this second time around here. And I was watching, I believe it was CNN, and I was watching at the time, there was looting happening of the Museum of Antiquity. If you remember, in Baghdad, there was all this looting happening, and so people were taking these, artifacts from the beginning of time, really, or human time. And then, so they had a picture of that, and then another screen they flashed was of soldiers guarding the oil ministry and the oil infrastructure, the derricks that were out in the fields. And I thought that was so telling no one was speaking about what a dichotomy that was. But it was really heartbreaking to watch that. And so this song came out after that, after my watching that. Where the children of the privileged, when the game of war is played, not on a chessboard table, but on the world stage. And where is the chief now, while his men lay on the field? Does he sit and count his riches, or march the battlefield? And where is the vision of peace we've all been searching for? Does it live in a hopeless land? Can it survive the storm in our castle of green, buried along the shore? Haven't we paid our price in blood and bone? The men who pursue their dreams have lost their humanity under a thinly veiled scheme to liberate a war-torn land, as if they could understand the pain of sacrifice in blood and bone. Mahatma Gandhi said, "We are all bound by the ties of love." Scientists tell us that without the presence of the cohesive force amongst the atoms that comprise this globe of ours, it would crumble to pieces and we would cease to exist. Even as there is cohesive force in blind matter, so must there also be in all things animate. And the name for that cohesive force, I believe, is love. Where there is love, there is life. No matter who we are or what we've done, we are all united by our common humanity. No matter what kind of car we drive or house we live in or clothes we wear, we are bound to one another. No matter what color our skin or language we speak, we are dependent upon one another for the quality of love in our lives. When we learn to see ourselves and one another through the eyes of love, we cannot help but to see that we are all the same, that we all shine the light of truth inside. So I have one more song to do for you during this time. And I just want to thank you so much for having me this morning. It's really nice to be here with you. And again, I would ask that if you feel moved to sing on the chorus part, I'd love to have you to sing. This is called Shine the Light. Spent a lot of time getting to know your face, your heart, your hopes and fears. And now I join you here in circle, in song, in friendship, our whole lives long. We may have started on many separate roads, but now I see it's all the same journey. And we are one, no matter which road we started on. We all shine the light of truth inside of us. We are one, no matter which road we started on. We all shine the light of truth inside of us. We spent a lot of time building our dreams, listening, sharing our joys and griefs. We walk the sacred ground with respect for all life, working for justice and peace. It's only hard if we let our differences divide. We can find a way if we just open up our minds. And we are one, no matter which road we started on. We all shine the light of truth inside. We all shine the light of truth inside of us. We are one, no matter which road we started on. We all shine the light of truth inside of us. We are one, no matter which road we started on. We all shine the light of truth inside of us. Thank you for singing.